I've produced over 100 songs in my career, and here's the hard truth. Most of them failed. I used to drop tracks with no plan, post once, and then vanish. I kind of thought good music was enough, and it wasn't until I treated my artist career like a system that I actually started making serious money. So if you're tired of dropping music into the void, you need to hear this. I'm gonna share 7 brutal lessons that cost me years of my life to learn, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. Let's get into it. Brutal lesson number 1, nobody cares at first. Okay, here's the truth. You need to stop waiting for your friends and family to blow you up. They won't. Because the math is, you drop a song, you get 6 comments, and that's normal. So here's a pivot. You need delusion. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but you have to believe you're a superstar before anyone else does. Real artists show up when the room is empty. Now, honestly, there have been several times throughout my artist career, throughout my producing career, where I felt like I was just releasing music into the void and nobody was listening. I remember I did this big album. It was back my very first Nashville album. I worked with some amazing producers and amazing writers, and nobody told me that you should set aside the same amount of money for your album as you should for marketing. So they should be equal. And I didn't have a label. I didn't have anybody really coaching me and helping me with this. I just figured like, hey, this is going to be the best album I have ever released. I've got an award-winning, Grammy-nominated producer who's working with me and writing with me and is bringing all these amazing people to the room, and it's gonna be great. And do you wanna know what? Releasing that album, you get to the point where you release it and it's so satisfying, right? You're like, I did it, we had this album release party and this concert and it was amazing and so fun, and then that's it. Like it's done. Because I didn't have any sort of marketing plan. I didn't really know that that's what was needed to keep it going because nobody had coached me on that. And so it was disappointing. I remember thinking, oh man, I'm on iTunes, I'm on Spotify. This was a long time ago and I just was so excited about that, and it got 4 streams. And I think the way that I kept going was that little bit of delusion, just believing that this is what I'm meant to do. And so I'm gonna make it happen no matter what, no matter how much hard work it takes and no matter how much I need to learn. And honestly, that's what got me through. And that is how I got to where I am today, because I had that mentality of this is gonna work. I know that this is gonna work and I know that I've got what it takes, right? That superstar mentality I talked about. But then also being willing to learn along the way. I had to learn a ton. I had to eat a lot of humble pie along the way to learn the things that I did wrong, the things that flopped, the things that weren't good that I thought were awesome. But that's the journey. But honestly, that belief in myself was how I kept going. Brutal lesson number 2. Inspiration is for amateurs. Now, here's what I mean. Waiting to feel creative is a trap. The reality is inspiration comes during the work, not before it. Okay, think about it. If you work out only when you feel inspired to work out, when are you going to work out? No, the inspiration comes when you're mid-run or mid-bike ride or mid-weightlifting session, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm gonna finish strong and finish hard, right? Well, the same goes with music. If you only write when you feel inspired, I hate to break it to you, but you're a hobbyist, not a professional. And I see this all the time with people because it's I can see a very defined line between people who believe and act like a professional, believe that they are and act like they are, and people who don't. Because they're like, oh, well, I wasn't feeling it today. Well, you know what? You still gotta pay the bills. And there are people, friends of mine, who show up every single day. I have an acquaintance in the industry who decided, you know what? I'm gonna hone my skills. I'm gonna show up every day and I'm gonna write and record 1 song every single day. Co-writers or not, alone or not, I'm doing it. And that is the kind of professional mentality where even when the inspiration isn't there, you push through because that's how we grow. And It's tricky though, because we do have to keep ourselves inspired to continue making music. So it's like this balance of like, you can't wait for it to hit, but you have to rather keep a continuous flywheel going. So there's a couple of things that I do to keep myself inspired. Number one, I really work hard to maintain a perspective of gratitude. And my family and I, my husband and I, we really believe strongly that gratitude is the foundation of a happy life. And because when we focus on the things that we're grateful for, we're not focusing on the things that we're not grateful for. It's rocket science, I know. But I honestly believe that that helps me stay inspired, because I'm not looking at all the bad things. I'm looking at things that I'm grateful for. Wow, I'm really grateful for this sunset. Okay, well, that means that I took time to sit and watch said sunset, which is really inspiring. So you can see how this flywheel continues. What's another thing I do? I love to read books and look for phrases in the books that are like, oh, that's really clever. Try to see the artistry or just the beauty in the way that the writer chose to say this certain sentence. And then lastly, I love listening to different styles of music. I love looking for new and upcoming indie artists or people that are kind of still in the shadows. They haven't made their big break yet, but they're really, really good. And you just pull out their lyrics and you think, wow, that's so cool, that's so inspiring. And none of that is to copy, but it's just to stay inspired and to appreciate art. And so that's one way that I keep myself inspired. So now let's talk about why you aren't finishing music. Here's brutal lesson number 3. Perfectionism is actually fear, all right? Done is better than perfect. Now, we've had people in our community, on this channel, in the comments saying like, yeah, well, perfect is the only thing that's good enough to release, and that doesn't mean that we don't try. 100%. That doesn't mean that we don't release what is excellent and put our best foot forward. We have to refine our skills, we have to hone them, we have to become better. 100%. Because something that is like poorly produced or poorly done and doesn't have great tuning or rhythm or whatever, obviously, yes, that's not gonna do well. But it's really important to think, okay, but done is better than perfect, because if you're going for perfect, you're never gonna get there. I remember sitting in mix sessions for my last album, and we were remote. So we were sending mixes back and forth, and the mix engineer would send my producer that I was working with and collaborating with, and he would send it to me. And honestly, it got to the point where I was like, I don't know, like, I feel frozen. I think that maybe it was better the last way. And then my producer was like, I think we're done. I'm like, you know what? I think we're done, because now we're going in a circle. So calling it done is going to give you that satisfaction of like, man, I did it, right? What if you went for one finished track a month? Because that's worth more than 10 half-finished loops or songs or lyrics or whatever on your hard drive. So just remember, okay, done is better than perfect. That doesn't mean we don't pursue excellence, but it does mean that we get that bit of encouragement, that dopamine hit, right? When we finish something and we're like, okay, I'm ready, let's go. Now, before we keep going, if you're serious about making money with your music, I have something fun for you. Take our 60-second quiz and we'll send you the next steps that fit your level, time, and budget. It's totally free. Just answer some quick questions. Click the link below and you can get started right away. All right, here's brutal lesson number 4. Use reference tracks, okay? Now, this feels a little bit like a cheat. And in this case, I guess the cheating is good then. But here's the tool, okay? Always use a reference track. And the reason that we do that is it helps us keep a true north. It helps us stay focused on, what you want the song to be. So you've got your song, you've got it written, and you're gonna start to produce it, right? And so now we find a reference track. I love to do this. I love to find a song that's inspiring, that I feel like, yeah, I kind of want it to have this vibe. Are we copying it? Absolutely not. But we're using this as our roadmap. And this is what we talk about in Produce Like a Boss all the time. It's called our simple method. And we've got other videos on that, so you can check those out when you have time. But it's all about using this framework and using the reference track as your true north, because that helps you stay focused on the structure. Like maybe you just follow the same structure as that song to get started. And you think, okay, so the intro's 4 bars, the verse is 8 bars, the chorus is 8 bars, right? And now all of a sudden you have a roadmap and you're like, you know, I want this pop vibe. I like the drums, so I'm gonna go for something with a pop vibe, right? Again, not copying, but using it as reference. So that's the tool that's going to help you just sidestep a hard lesson that I had to learn where I felt like I was always starting from nothing, okay? Use reference tracks so you don't start from nothing. Now here's brutal lesson number 5. Content is the gatekeeper, and this is where 99% of producers fail. Here's the difficult truth. If you don't post it, it's almost like it doesn't exist, okay? The excuse is like, oh, I hate social media. I think it's dumb. I don't want to be on there. It takes too much time. And I get that, but the reality is social media is a necessary evil for us as artists. We have to utilize it in some form. Now, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I actually don't think you need to be on every channel all the time. Honestly, it's exhausting. Like, how many are there? But I think a lot of times what happens is it's not that people are thinking, oh, I'm too good for this, right? It's more like scared of failing in public, right? And so here's what I want to encourage you to do. Pick one platform to show up on consistently, because it is such a necessary part of growing your following. If you're an artist who is wanting to build their artist brand, it is so necessary. And I know that it's difficult to put yourself out there, but just make the video, make it happen. I promise you, you will not regret it. Social media is kind of like the front door of your storefront, right? Like, if you think about it from a standpoint of a clothing boutique, if they've got a poor social media following, they're probably not going to get a lot of new clients and new customers unless they're in a high foot traffic area, right? But like a small clothing boutique, they're not going to get a lot of foot traffic necessarily, so they might not get a lot of new clients, because social media is like your front door. People like proof you by looking at your social media, and if it looks poorly done, if it looks like unengaging, then it'll be like, I'm not interested. And so I've had to learn that and just say, hey, this is a necessary part of it. How can I be my true authentic self? And I think that's another thing. People feel like, oh, I don't want to do trends. I don't want to do these dumb dances and reels and whatever. Totally fine. I don't either. So just show up as your authentic self, and I promise you, you'll find the people who want to listen to your music. Here's brutal lesson number 6. Your old music is new. Just because you released it 3 months ago doesn't mean it's old. It's still new to the person hearing it for the first time, okay? So repost your best songs. Repetition builds a fan base. Music is evergreen. And yes, I have applied this strategy, if you're wondering, over and over again. I've talked about this in another video, but I'm a huge proponent of batch working. And so we will like book out a venue for 2 days, and we'll go and film a whole bunch of content, songs, teaching, whatever, reels, you name it. And then we use that for like years. And so there's definitely a strategy there where it doesn't have to be this exhausting daily thing, but it becomes evergreen, because now you've got a live version from the venue, you've got your recorded version, and you've got some shorts and all the things. So it works really well. And here's brutal lesson number 7. You have to figure out your why. And honestly, if you're doing this music thing, whether you're a producer or an artist, if you're doing it just for attention or validation, you're gonna quit. Honestly, the validation fades fast. If you are only doing it so that people will like you, well, honestly, there's gonna be seasons where nobody's liking your music, nobody's listening to it, and you have to have that motivation to keep you going. So what's your why? What's your goal? Okay, and it's gonna be different for you than it is for me, and honestly, it can change. It's okay. So the thing that was a why for me when I was younger is different than the why now, and that's okay. And so you have to keep that true north in mind, otherwise you don't know where you're going. And when things get dark, metaphorically speaking, then it's really hard to keep going if you don't have that true north. So these are the 7 brutal truths that you need to come to realize before you can go all in. And if you're ready to stop relying on chance and start building a system, take our short quiz, and we're gonna give you the very next step you need to take right now. We'll see you in the next one. Now remember, we have our 60-second quiz, and you can fill it out today at the link below, and it's gonna help you know your next step to creating music that sticks with people.